Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om
Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om 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 Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram
Again continuing the same thread. As outlined in Narada Bhakti Sutra, Swami Chinnayanaji says in his commentary, it is a law that one can never unfold and develop spiritually if one's conduct is bad. Even sadhana is impossible for that individual. Virtues of non-violence, compassion, faith in the Lord, and in the existence of a higher truth, righteous behavior, and a virtuous mind must be scrupulously observed and cultivated. Whatever disciplines we are prompted to take from outside, say in the form of a mantra diksha from an outer guru, the whole success depends upon the quality of that individual. That's what this commentary says in Narada Bhakti Sutra. So unless and until a value-based life is lived, it will be difficult to carry on with the spiritual journey. That is why Papa mentioned, you will all remember, a man may be learned in all the scriptures of the world. He may have performed tapasya in solitude. He may have visited holy shrines and places of pilgrimage. He may have the gifts of oratory and possesses miraculous powers. But if he has no heart, that feels compassion. All these acquirements of his are worth nothing. So compassion, one of the most important values. And it cannot be cultivated. It is there in us. It is now covered by the me and mine. That is why every act of compassion is spontaneous. It is not a process of a thought. The intellect has no play there. Strong from within you are prompted. You are doing it. So it is not a thing to be cultivated, learnt and cultivated. So what are we doing now? We are making our efforts directly or indirectly to somehow remove the predominance of me and mine. It may be difficult to erase once and for all. It is difficult. But let us bring the predominance as much low as possible. When we do that, automatically He will provide us with opportunities. The field is not given by us. Opportunity will be provided by Him, and He will facilitate for the compassion to come from our heart. So the purpose of hearing so many anecdotes in this satsang is that we keep on doing the mananam by which the me and mine become less and less, so that the necessary ambience is provided inside for the compassion to come out. Papa put it in a very simple form. What is that? When you are compassionate and are helping others, you are acting the part of God. Perfect antidote against the fear and anxiety and uncertainty created by corona is karuna. There is some connection between corona and karuna, at least when we hear. You find that when a corona, the pandemic, then came, it is not that everybody became indifferent, you see. Everybody became sensitive, everybody, especially the government and the medical people, the police people. In our area, we can definitely say how earnestly they have been trying to contain this pandemic. Now it may be slightly going up and up because of compulsions. Because Keralites who are settled down outside India, outside Kerala, when they are pouring in, unfortunately, some of them become carriers, and so the figure started again mounting up. It is not the local. It will be there. It is inevitable, and it will take time. So there is karuna there. No? Corona has been instrumental in touching and kindling karuna in the minds of so many. So many people are organizing funds, wherewithal to provide food for the migrant laborers, people who are without work. So many such activities are going on silently. Anyhow, so that is why we are back again to karuna. Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitra karuna evada. Don't stop with adveshta, malice towards none, to be supported or supplemented by loving all and compassion for all. And Papa also says, sadhana done in a selfless spirit leads to the attainment of jnana. Bhakti, which is the essential quality of the heart, makes life gentle, loving, spontaneous. Jnana equalizes the vision. Bhakti fills compassion in the heart, which overflows in loving acts of service. Those who have genuine devotion to God are kind and compassionate. So it's easy for us now to check ourselves, whether the heart melts at the suffering of others, or whether the intellect is trying to gauge who is right, who is wrong. Compassion toward the poor, expressing itself in the relief to them, constitutes service of God Himself. Here we should be actuated by pure selfless love. So these are all the some clues given by Papa on the word compassion. As Papa's children, spiritual children, we must try to do this manana always. And we now know that it is not a thing to be cultivated. Compassion is not a thing to be cultivated, we have understood. Compassion is there in our heart because He is there in our heart. The only thing is the me and mine. Yesterday we saw that one in that anecdote when the two ladies were going, suddenly they saw somebody on the road lying. They were immediately taken. The body, the person who was lying was immediately taken to the hospital. All those things were done without thinking about any other thing. Spontaneous. Normally we start with one anecdote from Papa's life. Normally Papa never went out for alms. He only accepted cooked food from whoever offered it. However, one day he was prompted to go out for alms to procure some foodstuff. He received the same and also an anna. On those days it was rupees anna spice for sundries. In 1920s, one anna is a big amount. He tied up all these things in a bit of cloth and was passing in the crowded streets when a young man approached him and invited him for bhiksha in his house. Before reaching the man's house, Papa saw an old man standing in the hot sun in front of a house for alms. Papa beckoned the old bhikshu and as prompted by God, the bundle containing wheat flour, etc., and also the one anna were handed over to him. Struck by this gesture, the man fell at Papa's feet. Clasping Papa's feet, the man looked up and said that from morning he had been wandering about for alms, but had got only half an anna. At home there were his old sickly wife and 2 children to be fed. He was praying to God in all humility and was almost losing hope when he saw Papa, whom he looked upon as God Himself, who called him and offered him the bhiksha. Papa now knew why he was prompted to procure the foodstuff as bhiksha. So the title we are going to catch the opportunity. God gives this opportunity, We don't know the why and whereof. When it is for immediately we make use of it. Otherwise we are missing the bus. Spontaneous. And what a joy it is. A 12-year-old boy was enjoying his holidays. One day his father, a farmer, asked the boy to clear the bushes in the backyard before he came in the evening. He thought it would be good for his son to be more active and at the same time he would learn how to keep the place clean. When the father returned in the evening, he found the backyard clean except for a bush right in the middle. The father got wild. He looked for the boy, but he was not at home. So the father himself brought a spade to clear it. As soon as he struck it, two little frightened frogs hopped out of the bush and ran away. The father then realized why his son had left the bush untouched. He was so happy to know how careful his son was not to do any harm to those little creatures. Care for all creatures. So a servant of God will be the friend of humanity. Nobody taught him, no? Just imagine. So the learning is also. Then we come to know that it is purely by His grace, His compassion, the urge to actualize or capitalize the opportunity given by God through compassion. That has to be, that is the only part we have to play. We keep on praying. That is why in this famous quotation, you remember? What did he say? We have the magnificent book of nature spread out before us. A picture of unsurpassing beauty and charm. The spontaneous and blissful expression of the indwelling God. Let us look at it, read in it the glorious presentation and the varied activity of the beloved. So unless I become attentive, I will be missing the opportunity. Look at it, read in it. He is providing. Look on the infinite play of the Infinite One, and by deep absorption into the Beloved, enjoy immortal joy. This is the goal. All else is ephemeral, not worth striving for. So as spiritual children, we are only praying to Him. We believe your words. You are providing everything. But you still make us not to see that, to see something else. To see something else attached to the me and mine. Not to see something which is attached to you. Though you have provided everything, we attach it to the me and mine. And that is why we are unable to enjoy the infinite play of the Infinite One. Everything is viewed from the individual standpoint. The two little frogs were there in the bush. His father told him to clear. All that the boy has to do is to clear. But he did not miss this. The compassion in him came out. The quality, care and concern for others came out without tutoring. Next is, it may not be very relevant, but still a lot of lessons are there in this anecdote. Manav Seva is Madhav Seva. You all remember the words Vinobaji used when he was making commentaries about on the 15th chapter under the title The Triad of Service. There are only three things in the world: me, the devotee; he, the Lord. The rest of the things are articles of worship. So we are not limiting our puja, limiting our worship, limiting our remembrance of God to a few particular rituals in a particular place. This anecdote is a clear-cut amplification of the same theme. A young girl got married and went to her husband's house. Soon after, the husband noticed that this wife did not care for prayer, fasting, donations to priests, temples, or other rituals. She was not disrespectful, but she was not into it. Her disinterest did not raise any eyebrows in the house, as everyone in the house was liberal and understanding. Later on, eyebrows were raised, but for different and pleasant reasons. The reason was his wife's habit of running to help any person. If she sensed anybody was in trouble, her mind would start working frantically to arrive at a solution or help, whether she knew that person or not. It is very important. The beneficiary is a stranger, unknown. He first experienced this a few months after they got married, the husband. They both went to see his parents off at Delhi railway station. The parents settled down, and he and his wife were standing on the platform doing the usual send-off talk. As the train suddenly moved with a jerk, his wife noticed the spectacles of an old lady, sitting in the same compartment near the window, falling down into the track. She immediately started running alongside the train, asking the old lady to give her phone number. She could not understand, but her father-in-law did. He immediately took her name and Delhi phone number, scribbled it on a back page of magazine, tore it off, threw it out of the window. She took it up after the train had left. Her husband climbed down to the track, picked up the glasses, which fortunately were not broken. After going home, she called the phone number and the old lady's son collected the spectacles. Her keen desire to help others and the great presence of mind she showed while handling the situation was remarkable. Alertness. Always the care and concern of others. So the me and mine is less and less. That is what we should understand. On another occasion, she found a tiny pup lying in a gutter. Without any hesitation, she managed to get it out and saved it itself. Once she decided to remove all the plastic litter from Arya Mill Colony in Bombay. With the help of two hired hands, she set out on a mission to make Arya Mill Colony litter-free and cleared about 250 kgs of litter in 6 hours. Yet another instance, she noticed that one of the watchmen of the housing society where she lived was weak and pale. On inquiry, she was told that the watchman had fever and he was taking some medicines. She asked him about his diet and realized that it was not at all nutritious. She also learned that his financial position did not allow him to have a better diet. She devised a plan, discussed it with her husband, decided to provide 1 glass of milk and 2 glucose biscuits to all the 16 watchmen in the society every day at 8 a.m. 16 steel tumblers were bought the same day, and from the next day the process started. She gets up early in the morning, fetches 5 liters of milk, and at 8 a.m. 16 people are served a nutritious diet. she confessed that the greater satisfaction for her is generating faith among the underprivileged about the helping nature of mankind. There is a saying which reads, "Hands that help are far greater than lips that pray." Hands that help are far greater than lips that pray.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om
And God is created by human beings. It is better to worship the creation of God than the creation of human beings. Everything was spontaneous. You should know. Of all the words, Papa used these words. When you are compassionate, you play the part of God. That means we must keep our eyes open, ears open. Otherwise we will miss. When the spectacle fell down, I said, "Oh, what can you do now?" That will be the normal attitude. Not that we don't want to give. But if the me and mine is not strong in us, this is what will happen. It is not that we don't want to help, but in us the me and mine, in Papa's language, the bandicoot. With the help of intellect, what is the use? She has already left. How can you hand over even if you get the spectacles? Intellect will start bringing up all these stories. Ultimate result you will not do. There are so many anecdotes. We are not satisfied by bringing anecdotes, but still, that is the only way, not big talks, not philosophy we want. And about this lady, when we were reading about the behavior of this lady, we remember Gandhiji's and Vinobaji's way of approach to spirituality. Even today morning when we were reading a few lines from Stillness Speaks of Vinobaji, he clearly says that meditation, we should become meditative during our waking hours. If you concentrate meditation and think about the impersonal reality inside, that is not a comprehensive meditation. Comprehensive meditation is that you see him everywhere and try to be of use to him. That means you should be meditative, and this is called the meditative. That means forgetting the creation and concentrating on the Creator is what normally we all do. Forgetting the creation before us and then praying and concentrating on the Creator, whom we have not seen, is what is being done under the banner of spiritual discipline, unknowingly. So here we should give equal importance for both. That means, in other words, we are trying to see the Creator through the creation. Isolating creation from the Creator will not help us. That is the blunt truth. At the same time, both should go hand in hand. Otherwise, we will name it a social service. There again, this me and mine will come and dominate. So many people will observe, they will come and pat on us. We get puffed up, we may be thinking that we are helping others. That is why this balancing should take place. As correctly somebody said, jnana equalizes. Papa said, jnana equalizes the vision. and bhakti fills it with compassion. And such with an equalized vision and the compassion, it becomes an act of kindness. So we move to the next. Person more than possessions. It was a joyous occasion. Every member of the family and a host of special friends had gathered on the lawns of the bungalow to celebrate the parents' wedding anniversary. As would be expected, the mother had brought out her best crockery, reserved only for occasions such as this. There was a tray full of used teacups, made of fine china, with exquisite designs on them lying on a side table. The mother signaled one of her daughters and requested her to carry it over to the kitchen. The daughter immediately obliged, but in her hurry to get the job done, she missed a step. While entering the house, the crockery spilled over the tray, crashed on the floor. The girl was stunned. Her mother would kill her now, she thought, shaking with nervousness. There were tears in her eyes as she quickly collected the broken bits of the tray and went to the kitchen. Though terrified, she decided that she had to tell her mother. Putting on a brave front, she went up to her, confessed how she had broken the treasured crockery. To her utter surprise, her mother remained calm. With a reassuring smile on her face, she simply asked, "Are you hurt?" When she replied she was not, the mother said, "Then I am not worried, dear. I can replace the crockery, but I can't replace you." Person more than possessions. As a spiritual aspirant, we take it a test given by God. Whether the me and mine is strong or less. Every anecdote we should do some manana, not appreciating at the surface level. Right from Papa's, now we understand, He had gone there, collected. No, normally he doesn't go. On that particular day, he was prompted to go and ask for Viksha. And strangely, lot of articles and paisa were given. At the same time, God made some youngster to go and invite him. Then after that, he placed another person who is in need of it at a distance, asking for alms of the hot sun. Suddenly inner prompting comes, because the me and mine was not there in him. He was able to immediately capitalize that opportunity, called him and gave him unconditionally. So in all these we find we should be alert. God has been extremely kind enough to place before us enough opportunities. If we miss it, we are the loser. Asha and Beena, while returning home on a two-wheeler after attending a function, on the way they saw a man lying on the road. He was injured, bleeding, and the scooter was laying nearby. So she took the lead. Asha tried to stop a few passing vehicles, none cared. So she herself, with the help of another man, took him to the hospital. And then moved the vehicle from the road. And later on she proceeded to her home. So where from that courage came? So she quietly, what would we do? if it was our own brother. That may be a contextual happening. But what is underlying is this: she did not miss the opportunity. So every day along with our Ram Nam, suppose we pray this also. You are providing various opportunity for me to reduce the me and mine, but kindly make me aware of such opportunities also. Though you have given me the mind and senses, me and mine comes and does not see that. Only that which concerns me and mine, only I see this. Rest of the things I become blind. Please. And that 12-year-old boy, his care and concern for the two frogs, he also did not miss the opportunity. If he has to go, the thumb rule of his father, that everything should be cleared, he would have done that. And now, the girl who was present in the railway station when the spectacles was unknowingly dropped by that old lady, how her caring mind pined for getting the address. You can visualize, the train is moving. She is running along with the train, asking for the telephone number. And the moment it was done, her son who was in the town was contacted, and this was handed over to them so that she will get it at nowadays there are couriers. See the way in which things work, not a missing an opportunity. Like that, the RA milk or the pop in the gutter, or in the case of watchmen, everybody has got watchmen in their compound, does it strike to them? If one day if somebody is not coming, do we ask why he is not there? The me and mine comes and says, they are paying money, no, that's all. So through these anecdotes, we are being touched, kindled, made room. These are all some of the ways by which you can become sensitive. He has kept it open. We have to look at it and read it. Read in it. And now in the possession. Normally, this crockery and everything, ladies will be terribly attached to this. And when it is broken, it will be difficult. Not that she means anything bad to her, but at least a few abusive words will come. Though she may not punish. But to raise herself to that extent, in a calm and quiet atmosphere, without any change, something superb. Person more than possessions. One cold evening, during the holiday season, a little boy about 6 or 7 was standing out in front of a store window. The little child had no shoes and the clothes were mere rags. A young woman passing by, saw the little boy and could read the longing in his pale blue eyes. She took the child by the hand, led him into the store. There she brought him some new shoes and a complete suit of warm clothing. They came back outside into the street, and the woman said to the child, "Now you can go home and have a happy holiday." The little boy looked up at her. "Are you God, ma'am?" She smiled at him and replied, "No, son, I am just one of his children." The little boy then said, "I knew you had to be some relation." Now, how the title for this we are given is Discovering Divinity. Just imagine that old child, sorry, young child, asking her, are you God, mom? So the concept of God, it has come from her culture, from the culture at home. God is all giving, God is kind, God is compassionate, God is love. We used to wonder, all these words were not told to us when we were children, because we were concentrating upon the personal aspects. This personal aspect would be like, okay, but personal aspect, not giving much importance for these words, or that which stands for these words. But here we find the relevance of such culture. Okay, so the boy has been told that whenever you feel there is an act of compassion, you should know it is God. At this stage we are trying to understand, that boy could understand at that 7th or 8th year. When you are compassionate, you play the part of God. Okay, now shift our attention to that lady. What did she say? No, son, I am just one of his children. She was also a greatly evolved soul, where the me and mine was less and less. That is why she could immediately say that God is all pervading and we are all His children. And God has provided today for her an opportunity to bring out the godliness. Spontaneous, Suppose we are in the position, and if we have the proper mental background and culture, we will see the boy, we could have chosen any other store. Why did God make us to go to this particular store? Why did God make this boy to stand there near the window? Why did God make us to identify in our hurry? There may be so many people standing. Why did God make us to immediately take him in? We remember Puja Swamiji's words, as is my wont, I pass it on to God. Similarly, she did not say it, she did not feel that she has done anything. Even when the question was raised, if the me and mine was there predominantly, she would have immediately said, it's all right, thank you, or pat her on the back and gone. But immediately she replied, I am just one of his children. And again the boy said, I knew you had to be some relation. Otherwise you will. If you are near to me, you will not do it. A tiny little boy is giving us a silent discourse to us. So never let us be on the surface level. Real enjoyment comes when we go deeper and deeper and deeper into it. And the more we train our mind to go deeper and deeper, it becomes, the me and mind becomes less and less. Otherwise we cannot go deeper into it. Everything to give, nothing to take. It was a busy morning, approximately 8:30 a.m. Something superb. When an elderly gentleman in his 80s arrived at a clinic to have stitches removed from his thumb, he stated that he was in a hurry as he had an important appointment at 9 a.m. 8:30 a.m. he reached for stitching. While taking care of his wound, the nurse began to engage him in a friendly conversation. She asked him whether his appointment was so important that he could not spare enough time to have his thumb attended to. The gentleman replied that he needed to go to a particular nursing home to eat breakfast with his wife. A little while later, the nurse inquired as to his wife's health. He told her that she had been in the nursing home for a while and that she had Alzheimer's disease, memory impairment. When the nurse finished dressing his wound, she asked if his wife would be worried since he was going to be a bit late after all. No, he said, because she no longer knows who I am. She has not recognized me in the past 5 years. The nurse was taken aback. And you still go every morning, even though she does not know who you are. He smiled as he patted her hand and said, she does not know me, but I still know who she is. The nurse had to struggle to hold back her tears as the gentleman left the clinic. Everything to give, nothing to take. He doesn't expect anything. Pure compassion. And he doesn't miss an opportunity. He knows very well. She cannot recognize. But every day religiously this must be going on. Persistently, just imagine. And giving equal importance for that. His anxiety was, his earnestness was visible in the way in which he talked to the
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya